And we're back. So while there's other news coming in involving the Rangers, which is less uplifting than Kreider re-signing, but it's a good thing they didn't trade a goaltender, and we'll get into that. I'll likely throw a news of the day video together after the live stream is done. After we're done with all the trade deadline stuff, then I'll throw together a news of the day video on everything else going on around the hockey world, because there just isn't room for all of it. And yes, the last video I did was video 4 of about 50. I think last trade deadline, I think I did 14 videos that day. I think it was, but they're small little videos. Patrick Marleau is now a member of the Pittsburgh Penguins. San Jose gets back a 2020 third round pick. It turns into a second if they win the Stanley Cup. Either way, I like this for Pittsburgh. Now I like it for San Jose too. San Jose, they signed Marleau, who, by all accounts, it looked like was going to retire, and then he didn't, because, of course, he gets traded to Carolina. He's like, I didn't want to play in Carolina, so he ends up going to California, and then none of the California teams wanted to sign him during the summer. So the fact that San Jose gets something for an asset they didn't even have to start the season is impressive. But I do like adding Marleau to that forward group. It sort of reminds me of, and I know this is a bit of a reach, when Brian Trottier joined the Mario Lemieux-led Penguins in the early 90s, and they won a couple of Stanley Cups. Marleau is not Trottier, but he's at a similar stage in his career to what Trottier was at that point. He will accept a secondary role, and he can be a leader in the locker room. Look what he did. Look what he did for the Leafs. I don't know, people are going to say, oh, they were out in the first round. Now, I do think part of what's going on with the Leafs this year, and part of the inconsistency we're seeing, is they don't have Marleau in the locker room. I know he was too expensive, but I think what he did off the ice and the mentoring he did for the young kids in that room, I think that's something you can't measure with advanced stats, and you can't measure with fancy graphs and charts. And I think he'll bring that to Pittsburgh. A team that already had leadership, you can always have more leadership. That's not a problem. So Pittsburgh, I think that's a solid move. And so Marleau's now a member of the Penguins, and San Jose gets something back for somebody they didn't have to start the season, and they start what looks like it'll be a little bit of a sell-off for them today. So there you go. And yes, I do have multiple boards that I can use today, and I will use. And I have lots and lots of logos, so if I need to use the same team multiple times, it won't be a problem. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, I think it's a smart move for both teams. I do give Pittsburgh a bit of an edge because they added a forward without giving up a whole lot in return. And I think for Pittsburgh, I do think that this is the time. I think they can make a run at one last Stanley Cup with Crosby and Malkin. This would have to be the last one, though, right? This would be 4 for Crosby and Malkin. You got to share with others. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hit like and subscribe if you're browsing right through just happened upon this video. I will talk to you again soon.